Welcome everybody to this episode of How Hard Can It Be. Today I will be building a Terran Bunker from the video game StarCraft 2. I'm basing this build on this particular image and well, I got it pretty dang close. There are some details, but we're not going to talk about them because they are not blueprints, so I had to eyeball the whole thing. There were some parts that were easier, some were more difficult, but the easy part was that it's a symmetric building. Many things could be made only one part and then they just recreated with a mirror pattern or a circular pattern to make up for the rest. The most challenging part was the roof, because it wasn't a circle, it was a freaking
tetradecagon.
I didn't even know that shape existed, but apparently it's 14 sides, so it was a
tetradecagon
into a spherical piece, so more like a circle part. So that took me a while to figure it out. I was not thinking on uploading this build to YouTube, but it came out pretty good, so I decided to record the rest and upload it. Well, let's speed things up. I'm going to show you how the final cuts were made so that you can have an idea of how the entire build was made, because it's pretty much the same thing over and over, just in different shapes. I'm going to be working here on this particular cut. I always start by making the rough shape with the lines and then polishing it to match more closely the cut I want to make. Once you finish the more polished shape, it's time to give it the actual dimensions to the lines. These are the constraints of length, angles, and distance between the lines and that kind of stuff. The green lines are fully constrained, the white ones are not, so that means I still have to constrain them, so the goal is to make the whole sketch green. All the lines have to be green. Here I forgot to close the shape, so it did not let me make the cut, so I have to go back and try to figure it out. I realized that it wasn't closed. There were some of the edges that were open, so I have to change that. Once I was satisfied, I just mirrored the sketch, made a circular pattern to get it on all four sides of the building. Then this was the worst nightmare, the worst cut. It took me a while to figure it out. My first attempt, as you can see, was horrible. It took me ages to figure out what to do, so I decided to make it into a groove instead of a normal cut. The groove is a shape that cuts along a sort of pre-selected line. So this line was easy to make, the shape was easy to make. I was making a rectangle. Placing of the line was really challenging for me to figure it out, so that's why I had to try several ideas until it got a little bit better, but not completely. So I try until finally I got the clean cut. Here we go with the painting. It's made of 4 main colors: red for the base, or some kind of wine, and 3 different shades of gray for the rest. Also some details in yellow here and there, but there are very few. The build is sped up because, as you may know, CAD softwares add a lot of trial and error to get things right. This particular software I'm using, for those of you that do not know, is Catia. Is the version V5R21. It's the most recent version of the software. Catia is a really powerful program and it's really fun to use. So if you'd like me to make some tutorials on how to use it, just let me know in the comments below and I'll think of making them in the future for you guys. If you're wondering what is that awkward movement in the bottom right of the screen with the mouse, is the color palette. OBS did not record it since it's considered a different window. So it did not record it, so I'm just selecting the colors pretty much down there. I'll let you enjoy the final part of the painting process and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So here's pretty much done. I'm just checking with different views. The wireframe looks nice. Actually, it lets you know how many lines are active in the build. Looks interesting. But honestly, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Suggestions are welcome. I always want to improve my builds. So finally, how hard was it? It was pretty dang hard. This is how many things I used. It took me about 50 hours to finish it. So like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, and see you on the next one. Bye.